Can you tell me a little bit about your work as a humanitarian?
Certainly. I feel that success unshared is failure, and it kind of goes back to when I was 5, 6 years old. There was my mother and brother and myself, and we lived in Echo Park in Los Angeles. Not the nicest, it was a nice area, but not a wealthy area. In fact, it was mostly all immigrants. At that time, it was mainly Europeans and some Hispanic people, but mostly Europeans. And the big deal was, at Christmas time, since we had very little money, to go downtown. They had 3 or 4 department stores that were really nice downtown. You'd go there and see the window decorations. And they had these little moving puppets and everything. Yeah, it's really cool, these moving puppets. We thought, whoa, we look forward to it every year. Well, one year we went down there and my mother took a dime. She says, boys, my brother and I want you each to hold half of the dime. I want you to walk over to that person, ringing the bell, and put that dime in the bucket. We said, okay. Held the dime half each, walked over, put it in the bucket. Went back and said, Mom, that's a lot of money. This is back in the early 1950s. Why did we give them that dime? And we could have used it ourselves. She says, that's the Salvation Army, and they need it more than we do. And that's why we want to share. As little as we have, we want to share. And that left an impression with me in my life. So during the 60s, even during my, call it my biker years, when maybe, a lot of people that do things like that, come Christmas time, come Thanksgiving, I'd take my young son at that time, who was a couple years old, and he and I would go to Lovin's in Griffith Park, and we'd be there on the lines feeding people. That's how we donated our time, because we didn't have the money, feeding people to kind of give back a little bit. When you give back, it makes you feel really, really good, especially if you give back not asking anything in return. If you ask something in return, you're not really giving, you're trading. So because things are going well now, we help out. We're going through some economic times now where a lot of people that are giving are pulling out. We fed last year 4,000 orphans. All their parents died of AIDS, age 1 day old to 12 years old. This year, a lot of their backers pulled out. On behalf of future professionals in the professional beauty industry and all the hairdressers and distributors that support Paul Mitchell, I personally put in the money to feed another 4,000. Now we feed 8,000 children every day. That other 4,000 would have starved if we didn't do it.
Is this the port, is it Port Elizabeth, the project?
Actually, one of them is in Port Elizabeth. We are actually in South Africa. We go from Port Elizabeth all the way to the Northern Territories, and we have like houses anywhere from 100 kids to 200 kids in a little house where they have safety. They're fed. The older ones look out for the younger ones. They have a full meal with everything in them every single day, and a place to stay, and a school and education to teach them something.
That's fantastic. And now also you have the JP barbecue sauce.
Yes, we do.
This is going on
JP
with that
barbecue sauce was something that I did with some friends that made a movie called Snow Cone. Right. And they said, JP, we'd like to start a barbecue sauce called JP's Moonshine Barbecue Sauce. I said, I'll do it, but all my profits will go to the local center in Texas, in Austin, where my main residence is, to feed and help people that are families. In other words, if you are homeless, and there's 2 of you, that's a family. It could be 3, 4, 5, as long as it requires 2. A husband and a wife, or a husband and a child, or a wife and a child, at least 2 people in a family, then we give you a helping hand, and that's where all the money goes. And it makes me feel good. It's good barbecue sauce, by the way.
It is? Oh, okay, I'll have to buy some.
It's good.
Yeah, I bet it's better than, I won't say that, Paul Newman. No.
Paul Newman's good too. I love Paul Newman.
When
So
I
Paul
saw
started this.
JP's was coming out, I was like...
Paul started all
wonderful.
this. I mean, Paul's a great man. He started a lot of this, kind of followed up on it.
So JP, with the future of Paul Mitchell, where does that lie in the beauty industry now?
Because this company was put together with a promise it'll always stay in the professional beauty industry, I own the majority of the stock, like more than 51%. I put my stock in a 360-year trust. If something happened to me, no one could take it out of the professional beauty industry. I did that 3 years ago. There's 357 years still left on it. So in other words, the commitment is we're in the professional beauty industry only forever. And to the best of my knowledge, we're the only American company left that is only in the professional beauty industry and only owned by people that are only in the professional beauty industry and not the retail industry with hair care for humans.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one more question? How lucky do you consider yourself?
I consider myself one of the luckiest human beings on the planet. Now, I work hard, there's no question, and we worked very, very hard and did a few sacrifices to start our company, but I consider myself extremely lucky. That's why it's so easy to say success unshared is failure and pay a little bit back.
Always. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Sure. There's some great people I interviewed today. I want my beauty TV.
Well, thank you for joining us today for a rather candid interview with such a kind, wonderful, caring human being. So for more information, please join us at beautynetwork.tv. I'm Patricia Taylor for Beauty TV.